Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world, and a huge welcome to the final Postgrad Insight session of this week. This is the Postgrad Festival, which is focused on various different universities, focusing on online campuses, accommodation to funding and scholarships, all the way to the very opening session with the Chiefing Scholarship. So it's been a hugely successful week, plenty of questions coming in, and we finished today with one of the Russell Group universities, University of Liverpool, who will be talking specifically about their online courses and how you go about studying online and the advantages that it can have. Now, before we hand over to them, a reminder that this is a live session. If you have any questions, like some of you already have, place it in the chat or Q&A facility at the top or bottom of your screen, depending on the device you're using. And we will have a live Q&A at the very end. So if anyone's got any concerns, questions, or issues relating to any of this presentation, please do pop it in there and we'll endeavour to get back to you as soon as possible. If you are watching on social media and you are skimming past, please don't worry, you will be able to ask questions. Please message us or please email the gareth@postgradsolutions.com or email inquiries@postgradsolutions.com. A reminder of what's coming up. So you'll have a presentation from today's guests, postgrad.com, followed by a fantastic Q&A with today's guests, an opportunity for you to win £500, along with what we've seen throughout the week and what is coming up for the rest of 2022. But for now, I'd like to hand you over to Ben Piper. Ben is a representative at the University of Liverpool Online Division. Ben, if you'd like to come on at this stage. Ben will be taking you through the next 30 to 45 minutes, sharing his screen, presenting to you, along the way speaking to some special guests from within the University of Liverpool. Ben, over to you, and thank you.
Good morning, everybody. So yes, my name's Ben Piper. I'm the Head of Marketing for Online Programmes at the University of Liverpool. So in today's session, I'm delighted to say, joined by several guest speakers from the university. We have Arif Hussain, our Programme Manager for Law, Lisa Day, our Director of Online Programmes in the Management School, and Jeff Lovell, our Programme Director in Psychology. So Aref, Lisa and Jeff are going to do some short presentations about the programmes in the law, management and psychology subject areas. We've also got a couple of guest speakers from other parts of the organisation. We have Alexandra Lockwood, an admissions advisor, who's going to talk about the admissions and application process, and Savannah Lancaster from our student support team, who'll talk a little bit about the support that we offer to the online students who study the programmes online with us. I'm going to start with a couple of slides on law. So Aref, if you're there, if you'd like to turn your camera and microphone on, I shall pass over to you for this first part of the presentation. We are going to talk about law at Liverpool.
Hello, I hope you can see me and hear me okay. Yeah, if we can start with the first slide, please, Ben.
We can, there you go.
So hello, I'm Arif Hussain, I'm Programme Manager in Law. This is an exciting opportunity to be here telling you more about the new LLM International Business Law Programme. The University of Liverpool Law School is one of the oldest in the UK. It strives for social relevance and influence public debate and policy both nationally and internationally. It is also important to mention, as it has mentioned before, the University of Liverpool is a Russell Group university. This program is fully online and is designed to equip you with the needed understanding, knowledge, and skills essential to appreciate the structures and the operations of international business. Next slide, please. What you will study. You will be studying modules which are designed to nourish your understanding of international business law and provide you with the appropriate skills needed to excel in your learning journey. Furthermore, the modules seek to develop your critical thinking, analysis, problem solving, and reflective skills, which are all needed to boost your career. All modules, apart from the dissertation module, are 15 credits and 8 weeks in length. For the full LLM program, you will need to study and complete the first 6 required modules, 2 optional modules, and the dissertation. However, the program offers applicants several entry certificates ranging from postgraduate award, postgraduate certificate, and postgraduate diploma, and the LLM. Each certificate has certain required modules that you need to complete, as you can see from the slide shown. Now I will try to give a very short insight into the modules offered in this program. Firstly, International Business Law module introduces you to the concept and practice of international business law, such as international corporate and international commercial contracts. Critical thinking in international business law enables you to engage in effective research, synthesize information, and communicate to peers and the wider global community. International trade law tackles the role of World Trade Organization and its dispute settlement mechanism. Conflict of law in business and commerce introduces you to the rationale, concept, themes, and body of law associated with the field of conflict of law, international business and commerce, or what is called private international law as well. EU trade examines various theories and principles underpinning the European single market and the challenges that faces the European integration project. Competition law, the expansion of business operation in other jurisdictions requires businesses and those in position of leadership and management to be aware of the business of the competition law rules and principles. So these are the 6 required modules. Then you will move to 2 electives. I will explain more about the elective modules. Corporate governance provide you with the grounding on the structures with business organization that aim to provide a mechanism for ensuring transparency and accountability in decision-making process. Aspects of banking. In this module, you will be provided with case studies and contemporary developments in the banking sectors and the challenges it faces. Intellectual property law equips you with a body of essential knowledge of national copyright set within regional and international context. International sale of goods introduces you to how contracts of sale of goods are treated under different frameworks, including the Sale of Goods Act 1979 and the UN Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods. International financial crime, you will learn about several financial crimes and explore topics on anti-financial crime measures. Lastly, the dissertation. This is a 60-credit module and 40 weeks in length. This module develops your ability to undertake in-depth research, synthesize information from a wider variety of sources, and draw coherent and reasoned conclusions. Next slide, please. How you will study. Through our world-class virtual learning environment, which is 24/7 accessible and contains all the needed resources to study and submit your assignments. You will be learning through multimedia lecturecasts, which you could access whenever you would like. Discussion forums are a great place for students from all over the world to interact with each other and with their lecturer discussing legal topics related to their studies. Lecturers as well are available and accessible, as all of them will set office hours where they will be available to assist you. Additional resources available on our platform range from additional reading and formative activities such as case studies and debates. Next slide, please. How you will study continuation. Seminars are an integral part of your student journey, and they are designed to further build on the knowledge you have acquired from the required reading, watching, and engaging with the lecturecasts and doing the formative activities. All modules have 2 live seminars. Each seminar is 2 hours in length. Obviously, if you can't attend the seminar live, it will be recorded and the link will be accessible for you. You will have access to the University of Liverpool E-Library, which is very comprehensive and includes the books, journal articles, and the legal databases you need, such as LexisNexis and Westlaw. We implement various assessment methods, but it's very important to point out that exams is not one of them. There are numbers of assessments such as presentation, discussion forums, reflective essays, and problem-based questions. We believe that feedback is a cornerstone of your learning journey. Hence, lecturers' feedback will be comprehensive and personalized, showing you points that you have done well and points where you could further develop in the future. Your submission will be marked and the feedback will be given back to you within 7 days from the deadline date. Next slide, please. Entry requirements. All applicants will be considered on case-by-case basis. There are 2 routes: the academic route, which preferably a 2-1 class degree in relevant subject, equivalent to UK bachelor degree, and there's the work experience route, where professional work experience in related field and or other prior qualification. I just would like to highlight that we will consider 2-2 class degree as well. If English is not your first language, then you must provide evidence of your competence in the language, such as Ielts Academic 6.5 with minimum of 6 in all components or an equivalent test. You don't need to prove your English ability in if you are national or have completed qualification equivalent to UK degree in any of the country listed in our website. And I do encourage you to go and investigate this list of countries. This requirement will be generally waived if the candidate's first degree was obtained in an institution using English as a language of instruction. Next slide, please. Career prospects. LLM International Business Law offers you various routes to excel in your career, ranging from working in international law firms, if you're a solicitor or lawyer, multinational enterprise, government organization relating trade, or securing a more senior position within your current organization. Research looking into the future of business and law, and develop skills to enhance your CV and unlock possibilities. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation, and I look forward to your questions later on. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Aref. And Lisa, if you're there, I shall hand over to you. So Lisa Day is going to give a short overview of the programmes in the business and management subject area. So Lisa, over to you.
Hi, hello everyone. If we can start with that first slide, please, Ben.
Okay, there you are, Lisa. Thank you.
Lovely. So I'm going to talk to you today about 8 fully online postgraduate business and management programmes that are offered by the University of Liverpool's Management School. In order to achieve a full Master's Award, you need to complete 180 academic credits. Alternatively, you can complete a postgraduate diploma, which is 120 credits, or a postgraduate certificate, which is 60 credits. So I'm just going to briefly introduce each of these programmes. So the MSc Digital Marketing enables you to gain the knowledge and professional skills to become an outstanding digital marketing manager. So the curriculum includes key elements like consumer behaviour, digital communications, social media marketing and brand management, as well as core business skills such as finance and leadership. The MSc Finance and Investment Management provides a good understanding of contemporary principles of finance and how these are applied to financial intermediation, savings and investment. You also gain an understanding of the practices of financial markets. The content of this programme is aligned with the Chartered Financial Analyst qualification and equip you with the skills and competencies you need to undertake formal CFA Level 1 examinations. The Msc Healthcare Leadership is an intermediary disciplinary programme jointly delivered by the Management School and the School of Medicine. So it's designed to enable you to address the key contemporary issues within the challenging and changing healthcare context that we're all experiencing today. The MSc International Human Resource Management is focused on the knowledge and skills required to be an HR professional. So the curriculum blends core HRM skills such as managing performance, learning, development, managing change and conflict, along again with core business skills. The MSc Management curriculum helps you to develop your management skills, such as decision-making and strategy, as well as ethics and corporate social responsibility, leadership and change. It's ideal for people wishing to further their career as managers, or for people with a background in a different discipline, such as arts or science, who want to move into a business and management career. The MBA is aimed at people with 3 years or more management experience, and is designed to enhance your existing expertise and develop your strategic leadership capabilities. The course also provides the opportunity to tailor your educational journey with optional modules, such as project management and data strategy and analytics for managers. The Msc Project Management is a popular programme which is designed to equip you with the right tools and technologies to support decision-making and to ensure timely delivery of project objectives. It enables you to develop technical competence in areas such as risk management, monitoring and control, procurement, as well as core understanding of operations management principles. This is suitable for people with some existing project management experience, but also for those just starting out who want to build their project management skills. The MSc Sports Business and Management programme develops the attributes needed to progress in a sports management career, grow your own sports business, or thrive within an existing role. The programme modules encourage you to develop as a sustainable, responsible leader who can make a contribution to enabling sustainable sports organisations in the private or the public sector. Our website has more in-depth information on each of these programmes, including the module structure. So I'm now going to move on to talk about our management portfolio as a whole and the value of studying with the University of Liverpool. Go on to the next slide, please, Ben. Lovely, thanks. So the Management School is one of an elite group of institutions worldwide to be accredited by AACSB, AMBER and EQUIS. This is known as the Triple Crown. The Management School is a world-leading centre for management and leadership education and research. University of Liverpool was one of the first in the UK to offer degrees online. Our first activity was in early 2000 and the MBA launched in 2001. We're now recognised as European leaders in 100% fully online postgraduate education. We're fast approaching 20,000 graduates, located in virtually every country in the world. And we're still one of the few online masters providers with a proven reputation and capabilities at international scale. Our programmes are fully online, which enables you to study part-time whilst working full-time. You don't need to travel to campus, so that efficiencies in both time and travel costs. All our programmes are underpinned by the university's hallmarks of active learning, authentic assessment, and research-connected teaching. As part of our active learning approach, you'll engage with your fellow students and tutors in the online environment and undertake a wide range of assessments designed to reflect the sort of activities you might undertake in the workplace. You'll benefit from a global cohort of students and world-class online learning materials shaped by leading-edge research. The next slide, please. So if we just look briefly at the entry requirements. In general, the entry requirements for all the management programmes are a minimum of a 2-1 class degree in any subject, equivalent to a UK bachelor's degree, or professional work experience in a related field, and or other prior qualifications, which are very much considered on a case-by-case basis. So please don't be put off if you haven't got a 2-1. We have lots of students who are accepted on the basis of their professional work experience or other qualifications. If you need to evidence English language ability, then we look for Ielts 6.5. However, if you don't have an Ielts or equivalent certificate, you can take our free online English test to assess your proficiency. You should have a look at the website for each programme, as more details are provided and about who needs to evidence English language and about how you can do that. So the MBA is a post-experience qualification, and we additionally require a minimum of 3 years of substantive management experience in the private or the public sector. This can include a range of different types of management experience, such as the management of budgets, people and projects. Next slide, please. So let's think about the sorts of careers prospects you might have with a business and management masters. Professionals frequently use business and management masters programs as a career stepping stone, either to progress their existing career or to switch to a different career, or even to start their own commercial business or social enterprise. For some programs, such as digital marketing, project management, finance and investment management, or international HRM, our master's programs provide specialist skills to advance your career in that particular field, alongside more general managerial skills and expertise. For example, our Msc Project Management graduates include global project managers, construction managers, operations directors, or chief operating officers. Our international HRM graduates include HR directors, recruitment managers, and learning and development managers. Programs such as the MBA and the Msc Management are more generalist in their scope, and they can lead to a wide range of roles in many different industries, such as strategy director, CEO, head of compliance. Our Msc Management graduates include program managers, HR consultants, finance managers, and advertising execs. Other programs such as the Msc Sports Business and Management and the Msc Healthcare Leadership advance careers in a wide range of areas such as finance, marketing, or strategy, but typically within a broad industry sector, which includes a wide range of sports organisations and healthcare organisations. So just to finish, it's fair to say, I think, that management careers are very wide and varied. And one of the benefits of a business and management master's is that it can open a lot of different doors. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. That's brilliant. Thank you. And Jeff, if you're there, I think you're there. I can see you. I think I can hear you as well. I'm going to hand over to you. And there's a few slides coming up next about psychology at Liverpool.
Wonderful. So hello, everyone. My name's Dr. Jeff Lovell. I'm the Programme Director of the online psychology provision at the University of Liverpool. And I'm also a registered psychologist. And I'm really happy to be talking to you today about psychology. I've found psychology to be a really exciting, very dynamic and very relevant discipline for what we do on an everyday basis. So I fully encourage you to explore opportunities in psychology. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what we can offer you at Liverpool in that online space. Next slide, please. So we've got 3 online psychology programs. We've got psychology, we've got mental health psychology, and organizational and business psychology. So if we start with the psychology, or the straight psychology, if you like, MSc, this is our BPS accredited program. So that's the British Psychological Society. Now, if you complete this program, it gives you graduate basis for chartership. And this is one of the key steps in progressing to be a psychologist, or certainly in the United Kingdom. So it's really useful if you're looking for a path to being a psychologist, but it's also really useful if you're looking to develop a career in research in that psychology space. The next one we've got is the mental health psychology degree. So this is where we look at the practical, theoretical, and ethical issues of various methodological approaches to mental health psychology. And we have a strong leaning towards a dependence on an evidence base for intervention. This is really useful for those that would like to use psychological knowledge to support mental health in whatever work or voluntary organisation you might be linked to. And the third one we're talking about today is organisational and business psychology. This focuses on the behaviours within the workplace and its impact on the organisation as a whole. So this is going to be good for you if you're applying for organisational business, or sorry, this is where we're applying organisational and business psychology theory and knowledge to workplace environments, looking at staff recruitment and development, change management, leadership, marketing, and consumer behaviour. Okay, next slide, please. So the structure of our programmes. So we've got these 3 separate but related programs. And the first part, we share 4 fundamental modules. So each program starts with 4 fundamental modules. We then move on to 4 specialized modules, depending on which program of study you've elected for. Once you've completed those 8 taught modules, you then have the dissertation. The dissertation is a really exciting opportunity for you to really delve into, really get to grips with one particular aspect that you're very much interested in. So we've got these different named Msc Exit Awards. As we said, we've got the psychology degree, we've got the MSc degree, we've got the mental health psychology degrees, and we've got the organizational business psychology pathway. Those will provide you an MSc. We've also got these exit awards along the way. So we've got a PG Dip. So some people use this as a stepping stone. So if you're not sure if you want to dive straight into an MSc, you can enroll for the grad dip. And then if you're finding that's going really well and you have the opportunity to continue, then you elect to do the dissertation and you can then graduate with your MSc. Some people think of it as a stepping stone. Next slide, please. So why study psychology online with Liverpool? Well, as you've heard from my colleagues already, University of Liverpool is a well-respected and prestigious institution with very well respected and prestigious qualifications. You have the opportunity to learn from active research leaders. So the people that will be teaching you have got an active engagement with research. You can take part in collaborative and active learning via discussion forums with your international peers. That's going to facilitate interaction, and it's going to help you with your motivation and your learning. It gives you a chance to immerse yourself in action-based learning. Modules are designed to actively engage you in solving real-world problems. And it's going to help you prepare for your professional career. Our curriculum, our content, and our teaching have been developed with a strong focus to enable your future employment. Next slide, please. So what will learning be like in these online masters in psychology at the University of Liverpool? So each module is presented over 8 weeks, and you'll study one module at a time. Within those modules, stretched over 8 weeks, each module will have directed learning activities, pre-recorded lecture casts with an emphasis on student discussion activities. There are no set lecture times, so it's very flexible. There are set assignment submission dates that you will have to work towards, obviously, and there's online module lecturer support via discussion boards and emails. So it's a very structured program, it's there to support you, but it does provide you with a great deal of flexibility to work around other things that's going on in your world. Next slide, please. So entry requirements. So in terms of your application, you'll need a minimum of a 2-1 class degree in any subject, and that's equivalent to a UK bachelor's degree. Or, and we do look at applications on a case-by-case basis, you might have a 2-2 class degree, equivalent to a UK bachelor's degree, but you can also evidence that you've gained at least 2 years of relevant professional experience. If you're a non-psychology applicant, i.e. you're coming from a non-psychology background, will normally require a GCSE grade 4 or grade C, or GCE O-level pass in mathematics and English, or an equivalent qualification. If English is not your first language, we'll want to see an IELTS score of 6.5 overall, or 7 for reading and writing. If you're a UK national, or if you've completed a qualification equivalent to a UK degree in the list of countries on our website, then you won't need to evidence that. And just to reiterate, all applications are considered on a case-by-case basis. Next slide, please. So career prospects. There are many specific and generalized career prospects that stem from taking an MSc or a grad dip in psychology. So for those that go through our psychology MSc, most of our students use that as a direct career path towards becoming a registered psychologist or becoming a researcher in psychology. Our mental health psychology degree leads to careers that use psychological knowledge to support mental health. For example, if you're working in public or private healthcare as a mental health support worker. Our organizational and business psychology lends to careers in general areas of human resource, as well as training and development. Also careers related to consulting in areas such as leadership and coaching. However, I pose this question to my students in psychology: try and think of a career where an understanding of psychology, understanding of how people work as teams or individuals, you try and think of a career where your knowledge of psychology is not going to be helped and aided. You know, it's almost impossible. Everything we do relates to psychology. So we've got specific careers, and we've also got these generalized opportunities as well. Next slide, please. So thank you very much for being able to talk about psychology. If you've got any questions, please shout out in the Q&A session at the end.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. And I think we're now going over to Alexandra to talk about the admissions process.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Alexandra and I'm an admissions advisor for the online programs. So I'm going to run through a bit about the admissions process and application process with you today. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you've decided on a program already and you feel like you're ready to apply, you can apply directly through our website using the link provided. Please be sure that you are applying to an online program and not a campus-based, otherwise it won't come to the correct admissions team. So once you have decided that you're ready and you're applying, then you will need to be prepared to submit the documents mentioned on screen there. So for a photographic ID, this would need to be government issued. It would need to have obviously a clear passport photo. Your date of birth would need to be included, and it would also need to be in date for the program start date. So if you were applying for an October intake, for example, then please be sure that your ID is valid until at least October. An up-to-date CV, this should contain as much detail as possible. As you've heard the program directors mention, it's very important that we are able to ascertain any and all of the work experience that you have that may be relevant to the program. So please ensure that this has as much detail about your work history as possible. Copies of your educational certificates and translations if necessary. So this could be a bachelor degree if you already hold perhaps a postgraduate diploma. Any relevant educational certificates that you would like to be considered, you are welcome to submit. They will need to be translated if necessary, and this will need to be a certified translation. If your degree is graded, if it's perhaps a bachelor degree, if the grade is not indicated on your certificate, then you will also need to submit transcripts, so that your degree classification or final grade can be determined. You will also need to submit a personal statement. This should be approximately 300 to 500 words, and it should address any relevant experience that you have. So if you're applying for a psychology program, for example, and you feel that you have some relevant experience in that field that you could connect, then that's the opportunity for you to explain that. You should also detail why you want to study this program with us and how you feel it will connect to your future career plans so that we can get an idea of your eligibility for the program. Again, as previously mentioned, you would need to submit, for international applicants, would need to submit evidence of English language proficiency as well. This can be in the form of an Ielts or a TOEFL test, but please note these must be less than 2 years old. Or we will consider other possible evidence as well. So if you have confirmation that you've studied at higher education level in English, then this can also be considered. If you don't have any evidence that you feel would be admissible or that your advisor feels would be admissible, then you can take our free online test, and these details will be provided to you at the point of application. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you feel like you're not quite ready to apply yet, you're still thinking about what program you'd like to go for, then you can submit an inquiry through our website. You can request a module booklet, and your inquiry will be directed to an admissions advisor. Now, this admissions advisor would stay with you through the whole process. It would be a personal contact for you within the university to answer your questions. They will be able to help you with perhaps which is the best program for you. If you have a career path in mind, they may be able to guide you, based on your relevant experience, and they'll be able to help you at that initial point of inquiry. If then you feel that you have decided on a program and you're ready to apply, as mentioned, you would need to follow the steps on our website and submit those documents, and there'd be no cost to apply. So it's all free to do. With the application process, there'll be nothing for you to pay at that point. Your application would then come to your admissions advisor and it would be reviewed by us. We would assess your documents and determine if there was anything else that we needed. We would review perhaps your personal statement, and if we feel that it could be stronger, if perhaps you could mention some more relevant experience, anything that would help with your application, then we will advise you at that point. When we feel that it is as strong as possible and you are in the best position to have your application reviewed, it will then be sent to the Director of Studies for final approval, and they will make the decision as to whether you are eligible for your selected program. And they will also offer any guidance as well. So perhaps you may not have the relevant experience for the MBA, for example, but you may be well suited to the management masters. So we will guide you wherever possible. If your application is approved, you would then receive your offer letter, and this will contain all of the details of the next steps in the programme for you. And in order to secure your place on the programme, you would need to submit an online acceptance form, and you would also be required to pay an initial deposit. That deposit would come off of your total programme fee. It's not an additional cost. And once that is paid, there will be nothing further for you to pay until after your programme has begun. So it would also act as your first month's payment. Again, it's no hidden cost, it's all included. Next slide, please. Okay, and again, as mentioned by our programme directors, we do have various levels of awards available. So we do offer for some of our programmes a postgraduate award, which is 30 credits. And then, of course, you have the postgraduate certificate and postgraduate diploma, which are 60 and 120 credits respectively. The options of all of those are on the website for you. So if you are perhaps interested in a postgraduate award, then if you take a look on the website, there will be indicated which programs will offer that award. And the website will also indicate all of the certificate and diploma options for you. As you can see, the fees are all listed there for you, and the program fees can be paid in monthly instalments, or they can be paid for upfront. So if you chose to pay monthly, then it would be the total fee divided by the duration. So for the postgraduate certificate, for example, with the example that is mentioned on the screen, if your total fee was £5,100, that would just be divided by the 10 months of your programme, and the monthly fee would be £510. And next slide, please. Yep, and the same would be applicable for our master's programmes. So as you can see, for all of our full masters, the programme fees are again just divided by the monthly duration if you chose to pay in monthly instalments. These, of course, are all net of any applicable sales tax that may be payable in your country of residence. These taxes are set in accordance with tax laws that are beyond the university's control, so those couldn't be waived. But you would be welcome to discuss those with your admissions advisor if you had any questions or concerns at all. With the MBA, just a quick note that with the upcoming October intake that we have available, there would also be an executive 15% scholarship that will be applied, but that would just be for this October intake. So if you are thinking of perhaps applying for one of those for this upcoming intake, then you can discuss any final tuition fees again with an admissions advisor. Next slide, please. So as you can see, we do also have some options for scholarships available to some students depending on their country of residence. So we do offer scholarships of up to 15% for international students. And as I said, this would be dependent on your country of residence at the time of your programme. This can all be explained by your admissions advisor when you apply. So you would be required to give an indication of where you are living so that we can give you the most accurate fees possible. If you chose to pay the full fee up front, then you would be eligible for a 5% discount on the fee. This would be calculated for you at the point when you inquire and would all be indicated in your formal offer letter, so you would know the final amount that was due. And if you are an alumni of the University of Liverpool, then you will be eligible for a further 10% discount on your tuition fee. We would require evidence that you are either a graduate or you have studied with us in order for that to be applicable, and then again that would automatically be applied. And those scholarships can be used in conjunction. So you would be eligible for a 15% regional scholarship perhaps, and another 5% discount if you chose to pay the full fee up front. So there are a few options in terms of payments. And once again, all of that can be confirmed by your admissions advisor at the point that you apply, if you have any questions or concerns at all. That was everything from me for the moment, but I look forward to answering any questions that you may have later. And of course, if there is anything that we aren't able to answer, or you have any specific questions, then your admissions advisor will be personalised to you throughout the whole process. So you will have a point of reference for anything that you need any help with. Thank you.
That's great, thank you, colleague. We've just now got a couple of slides from Savannah from our student support team, and I think we go back to you for the Q&A, Gareth. So Savannah, if you're there, I'll pass over to you just to talk about the online student support services that we offer.
Hello everybody, I'm Savannah and I'm a student support advisor, and I'm going to talk to you today about the different ways you can access support during your studies. Next slide please. So you can access additional support during your studies via the Student Services Department, which is made up of 3 teams, which is the Student Support Team, who are your first point of contact for all non-academic queries and concerns. The Study Skills Team, who are on hand to help you develop and maintain your academic skills. And finally, we have the Student Welfare Team, who are here to support you with any concerns regarding your mental health and wellbeing, and can provide support on accessing any disability advice and guidance. Next slide, please. As the student support team are here to support you with any non-academic queries or concerns, and we are your first point of contact for all concerns. And the student support team offer advice and guidance on all pastoral concerns. Therefore, should you experience any issues whilst you are on your study journey, please do not hesitate to reach out to the team, and we are able to advise you on your next steps. Also, if you do have any queries or concerns in regards to the learning platform or any additional technical queries, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, as we may be able to advise on how best to resolve your technical concerns. However, please be assured, if the concern is not something that we can advise with directly, we are more than happy to signpost you to the relevant team for that additional support and advice. Similarly, if you have any non-academic queries during your studies, please do let us know, as we are able to look into your concerns for you and advise you on your next best options. Similarly, we completely appreciate that there are highs and lows during your studies, and you may wish to take a study break. Therefore, should you experience any extenuating circumstances or any situations that have impacted upon your studies, or if you just wish to take a general break during your learning, please do not hesitate to reach out to the team at your earliest convenience, and we'll be able to support you further. And again, if you do want to reach out to the student support team during your studies, you can contact us via email, over the phone, or over live chat, and you'll be able to access live chat using the learning platform. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing back from you during the Q&A
great.
session.
Thank you for that, Sven. That's fantastic. Thank you. I'll just put a slide up there with a couple of links for our website, our contact page, and the URL of our application form. But Gareth, if you're there, I think I'll pass back to you now.
I am indeed. Thank you,
Questions.
Ben. And thank you to all from the start of the presentation, which seems so long ago now, with our ref to Savannah then. We are going to engage in a live Q&A now. At this stage, I'd like to thank everyone that's been asking questions. Welcome our podcast listeners that will be listening to this on our podcast channel. There will be some key topics discussed over the next 10 to 15 minutes. Savannah, can I bring you on to begin with, if possible? I think while we're talking about, and the slide that you mentioned there, while we're talking about support and help and welfare, from a student's perspective, it can feel a little bit lonely if you do an online course, because obviously you haven't got that campus feel, you haven't got that interaction around you. What do you guys do from a university perspective to make a student feel welcomed, especially when they first join, and what help is there for students with other students?
Yes, so the student support team are here during the induction stage of the student's study journey throughout the studies. What we will do is we take part in what we call welcome calls. So this is before you start your programme, and we will give you a call and we can answer any concerns, just give you an introduction about the course and what to expect, because I completely appreciate that it can be quite scary when you don't know what to expect and you don't have that community around you. So we can guide you on what to expect. And then once you begin your module, you're enrolled into a 2-week induction period. And that's just a way for you to interact with your course leaders, your module lecturers, and all the students that are on your programme. And it'll help you build the bonds, build relationships, and just get a general feel for the online programme. But then a lot of our modules as well, a lot of them are group-based, so you're never really truly on your own. Because there's quite a lot of group work, so you're able to interact with like other students and other professionals. But again, you're more than welcome to like contact the student support team if you are feeling lonely during your studies, and we can able to support you further.
And of course, since the pandemic as well, everyone's moved to an online platform, so people are more familiar with it now, no doubt. So
Yeah,
I suppose
definitely.
that's a huge advantage for you guys as well.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Thanks for your time there, Savannah. Alexandra, can I bring you in now at this point? We've had questions being asked about funding, scholarships, and various different things around credits and stuff like that. How easy is it to apply for a scholarship funding? One of the questions we've had come in is relating around, does it matter where you live or your nationality? Will there be different funding and scholarship options depending on where you're from? Can you answer that one for us?
Of course. So our regional scholarships are based on region, unfortunately. So nationality wouldn't come into it. It would be based on where a student is living at the time that they apply. There is potential for, you know, if a student perhaps lives in one country at the minute, but they know that by the time they will be starting the programme, there is potential they'll be moving. There can be that can be assessed case by case. So if that was your circumstance, then that could be discussed with your admissions advisor. But it would be based on where a student is living, and it's nothing that they need to apply for separately. It will be automatically applied at the point that you're sent your offer letter. So when you submit your application, as mentioned, you would need to indicate your country of residence. And then based on that, if you are eligible for any regional scholarships, then it will be automatically applied to your programme fee. And it will be clearly indicated in your payment plans. So your advisor will make you aware of any scholarships that you are eligible for at the point of application.
Excellent, thank you very much. Also as well, can I discuss with Lisa and RF as well, right at the beginning of the conversation and the presentation, we discussed law and management. If you can just take it in terms, a lot of people will be worried that by doing an online degree, it doesn't give them the same same kind of authority on a CV, which, you know, we know from our side isn't the truth. Would you like to elaborate further on that? Because law and MBA it's a very competitive marketplace, and people will look at it and go, oh, I need to do a face-to-face degree. That's not the case, is it? Lisa, can I start with you?
Yeah, I think it's a fair point, but so much has changed. And, you know, whilst the pandemic was dreadful, in terms of the acceptability of online learning, or, you know, how could you possibly work together in a collaborative way in an online program? It couldn't be the same. Well, actually, everyone's had to do it, and people have found, do you know, you can get more done this way. So, you know, you have that legitimacy. We have a lot of experiential group exercises on the MBA. People are working together in a really authentic way. And it's actually more like the way they work in the workplace in many ways. So I think the actual experience is kind of, there's much more acceptability of that now. And of course, when you graduate, you graduate at the same ceremony with the other students. An MBA is an MBA. You know, you still have a master's degree or whatever award you go for from a Russell Group university, and you come to graduation and you wear your gown and you're in the same place. You know, so I think it is much more viewed now as a genuinely, I think people's fears were that you weren't getting as good a learning experience, and I think 100% now the learning experience is seen as comparable.
Excellent. Aref, would you like to elaborate further on that from, you know, from a management perspective and law perspective?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I would like to reiterate what just Lisa said about the pandemic being dreadful, but actually opened the whole world's eyes that actually business and education can be done in this way, and what gives this advantage that we have implemented a lot of strategies of engagement for students online from different backgrounds, they have different undergrad degrees, they have different work experiences, coming together, discussing things related to their studies, but giving their own take about it in their own national country or where they live. So the certificate is the LLM in International Business Law is the same as the one that you get with us online, the same as the one that you get face to face. You will attend the same ceremonies. Your certificate will be exactly the same. there are a lot of opportunities to interact here with your lecturers, actually, unlike the face-to-face, where sometimes it's not really accessible. Online, after hours of working hours, there's a lot of time to have a meeting with your lecturer and to ask all the questions that you would like.
And Aref, while I've actually got you on, I was going to ask this question later. I don't think the during the webinar presentation, the Llm costings were included. Would you like to talk a little bit more about that while we got the chance?
Yeah, of course. So the Llm costing is 15,300 for the full LLM. For the postgraduate diploma, it's £10,200, and the full BG cert is £5,100, and BG award is £2,550. So there's a variety of certificates that you could apply for. You could just go for a postgraduate award at the beginning, just to get a feel of how your student journey is going to take place. From our experience, a lot of our students who started in these certificates progressed to the full LLM in the future.
Excellent, thank you. Thanks for your input there, Aref. Jeff, could I bring you in at this stage? I'm just conscious we haven't spoken much about psychology. What I would say is, over the last 2 to 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic, I mean, like, you know, your colleagues mentioned now, it was a terrible time for everyone, but it did open everyone's eyes. But we've noticed from postgrad level, psychology, the interest has gone through the roof. Have you guys seen that from your side? And what do you put that down to?
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely on the money. Yeah, people are talking far more about mental health and mental fitness. So beyond people who are very much unwell, which we've always had, and you know continues, but I think the priority people have placed on their well-being and their mental fitness has increased. It's become more salient. So we're seeing a greater interest. We're also seeing a greater interest in those non-accredited pathways, so those ones that aren't BPS accredited. For example, our mental health one, where you might not be working as a psychologist, but you're working within companies, for example, supporting the well-being of the employees. And this is certainly become an area of a lot more growth. I even heard about a company that's got a chief happiness officer, which is a hop, skip and a jump along from the mental health. And it seems to be the way forward. And I think it's one of the positive things that's come out of the legacy of COVID.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks for that, Jeff. Ben, I'm just conscious that we're, you know, for time wise, we're getting towards the end. Can I leave you with like the last word from a Liverpool Online perspective, because there are questions coming in around admissions and, you know, how do I apply for certain courses and stuff like that. What would you say to those people that have asked those questions? You know, we can't get back to them all individually on the session, so what would you like to say to them, where to go, who will contact them, and so on from there?
Yeah, no, thank you, Gareth. Obviously, yeah, our website is available. There's the contact page, the telephone number, live chat, email. Our admissions team are basically available, standing by to answer any questions that people have, either about the study experience or individual programs, entry requirements, fees and funding options. So I'd recommend people to go to our website. It's online.liverpool.ac.uk. and to have a look at the programme pages there, and to use the contact form and the various ways to get in touch with our admissions team through our individual questions. And the team are very, very approachable, very friendly, very knowledgeable. So please do go to the website and do reach out and get in touch.
Excellent, thank you very much. And for all of those listening on podcasts as well, if you want more information, head over to postgrad.com. If you're watching live on the session today, or you've registered and you're watching on demand, everyone at Liverpool, you know, has your details, so they will try and reach out to you. And everyone on this session, will try and reach out to you. There will be a follow-up email coming your way. So if you've got any questions or concerns, please respond to that one. And if you would like to contact me personally, it's gareth@postgradsolutions.com. That will be on the final slide you will see. But for now, a huge thank you to especially yourself, Ben, for orchestrating everything. Done a stellar job with that. Thank you very much. And to Aref, Alexandra, Lisa, Jeff, and Tom in the background as well for making this session happen, and not forgetting Savannah. So a huge thank you, and we hope to see you very soon. But for now, a little bit of information about postgrad.com and what we offer. So over 10 million students have found their perfect postgraduate program using our website. We've got over 200 countries for you to study at, but let's not forget about online. You know, we've just heard a fantastic presentation, and a continuing factor over the last week and theme has been around the addition to the online courses since the COVID pandemic hit. Partnerships with high caliber international scholarship providers such as Chevening and Marshall. So if you are looking to come to the UK for a face-to-face degree, then there are those opportunities there. The best advice on everything surrounding accommodation, visas, English language support, funding, subjects, distance learning, different modes of studying, and so much more. Head over to our website. And an opportunity for anybody watching to apply for a £500 bursary. Now, this won't clash with any other funding that today's sponsors, Liverpool, or any other sponsors throughout the week might offer you. So anyone can apply from any country, from anywhere around the world. Studying any course, any different mode of study is welcome. But for now, a huge thank you. It's been a fantastic week, a huge success. Our next festival is actually in January. It will be a Study in UK special. So do keep your eyes peeled for that one. And if you have any questions, please head over to Postgrad. A huge thank you to today's sponsors, University of Liverpool, and to all the other sponsors this week for making such a success and such an engaging week. For now, a huge thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.